G'day and welcome to the Mailbag, a massive Melbourne Cup preview show. The band is back together. Probably the A-team, is it, boys? You probably think it is, Wishy?
That new song by Cold Chisel is woeful, you know, getting the band back together. I don't know if I can handle it.
Anyway,
it's hurting my ears already.
The man, the myth, the wish, now known as Abe Simpson.
No.
How are you, Abe?
How we doing?
We're flying. As I said, got an email, you know, baby started crying at 4:30 this morning, check my emails. $12 into $12.90 into 1,014. Taps Lotto, happy days.
Druzy,
How we doing?
big man's back.
Yes.
We've been trying to get him on. This is the show you have to come on with the internationals.
Definitely.
This is essentially just going to be your show with Jonathan and I just trying to create a little bit of atmosphere.
Well, let's be fair, you both have seen a lot of the lead-up runs of quite a few of these horses as well, so you've got some good impact from the yard for some of them, I'd say.
I'll be leaving all of my decision-making on this race from what you say now and the yard, which is what I've done since I've met you, and it has worked pretty well. How you been? What's news?
I got a bit of hay fever with the storms around last night, so my eyes may look a little bit glazed over than usual, but how good are the goats?
Yeah, it was raining in Kittens last night.
Yeah, filled up yesterday, didn't you?
I had a pretty good day.
And as always, this show is sponsored by and brought to you by Goat Lager. We really enjoy Goat Lager, Drew and I do at least.
Hell yeah.
The men on the table. Jonathan's having a little tea.
Yeah, because
Mountain goat
Abe
tea.
Simpson, old man behaviour.
it's 20 to 11 in the morning.
Should have had
We've
three
had
by
a huge
now.
weekend, we've had a huge carnival. I'm going to rip and tear today.
You know,
In
I've got my form already done. I can get on the goats.
Okay, so
up the goats, righto.
Melbourne Cup, 3,200 metres, currently a soft 6. I think it raced a soft 6 yesterday, probably.
They said
Thoughts?
soft 7.
Yeah, it wasn't that soft for the first couple, but as the day went on, it definitely.
Kind of, there was a period there, sort of race 5 maybe, where it started to get a little bit muggy, and if no more rain came, I reckon it would have firmed up again.
I think
But then
they'll
it
be
just pissed down again.
They'll be on a good 4 on Tuesday.
If they get the 4mm today and then the 8mm tomorrow, you'd be saying soft 5, but other than that, good 4 is where I'd place it.
Okay, so this show is going to purely focus on the
sorry.
Melbourne Cup, and we're going to go runner by runner.
I'll rephrase that. They'll quote it as a good 4,
Yep.
but it might be bordering on a slow 5.
Yep.
But at 4 o'clock, if you get a hot day, it'll come back. But yeah, they're not
That's true.
gonna put it out as a slow.
No, you want to
Well,
increase turnover.
let's not forget the track ratings of last year, which were just all over the shop on
Yeah,
one
very
day.
true.
Yeah, it was a great day last year. I think I went home, took the knife to my tie, cut it in half, just completely lost my shit. Got rained on the whole day.
That's because you didn't have any KFC on the way home.
No, it was because it completely rained out the biggest day of the year. It was like I'd been naughty on Christmas Day and Santa went to my next door neighbours and not to me. It was no good at all.
Okay. Horse number 1 is last year's winner in cross counter, a Philo Gelding, Drew. It's won almost 6 million, which it probably won last year. It hasn't raced for 49 days. It hasn't won since it won first up this preparation in Dubai.
Yeah, Gold Cup. Didn't beat much.
Talk us through it, Drew.
Didn't beat much there. They only ran it because they lost a horse that cup, which was going to be their Dubai Cup horse, so they had to keep cross counter going. They've had a real strange campaign. 4,000 metres, back to 3,200, back to 2,800. Hasn't really done much the last 2 starts. It was fairly beaten both starts. The one thing in this horse's favour, it gets the right run. It's probably got one of the best maps of the day.
Drawn
from
barrier
Barrier
5 for Willie Buick.
Like, that is just ideal. You can't take the horse on. It's done nothing wrong. Even with its defeats, the ratings that it's ran, it'll be right in this. Even with 57.5 kilos, it'll be there at the finish. You know it'll get 3,200. It handles all conditions. The wetter, the better for it as well.
So at $14, you're not taking it on, but you don't want to be with it at the same time by the sounds?
I'm going to be saving. That's my position on the horse.
Yep.
I'm going to chop out on it. And this is what I do each year. I'll try and back 3 or 4, and I'll try and save on 1 or 2. And, you know, that's my position I try and take.
Abe, anything you'd like to add?
I think this horse is going to be seasoned in terms of it's been to Australia before and then it's travelled to Dubai and back and forth and all that sort of thing. I believe this horse, I would have liked to have seen Kerry McAvoy rode it last year. I would have loved to have seen Kerry McAvoy or Hugh Bowman or D Lane or D Oliver. I would have liked to have seen one of those group Australian riders on it, not knowing the international jockeys that well, but just the pattern of racing in Australia is slightly different to what goes on in Europe.
I reckon though the international riders can get away with it when they're drawn like this in 5. Like he's just going to jump, fall asleep, and just try and get out.
But I think this is a really strong chance. It's running the Irish St Leger, which I watched the replay. It ran through the line, so the extra 400 metres is going to help. 49 days, which is a better... Look, as long as it's got over here, travelled well, which it should have because it'd be accustomed to travel, I think this horse will be right in the finish.
Okay, horse number 2, Muir de Glance, Japanese horse, won the Caulfield Cup. D-Lane Sticks. Drew, what do you do with it? It was not favoured, I'd say, with the way the Caulfield Cup was run. It was the widest horse, and it towed him in.
That being said, I would say it's one of the ones that had an uninterrupted run. It
Currently a $7 chance.
short for mine. Barrier 2 is a negative for this horse. I think it's a free-flowing horse. I think when you look back to its Japanese runs, it's run best when it's been able to go clear running down the outside. You very rarely get that from Barrier 1, Barrier 2 in a Melbourne Cup.
I think it's an awful draw.
I think so. It ran a 122 time form rating in the Caulfield Cup, which is sensational. I have a few queries with this horse and unanswered questions. So we'll look at the distance, which it's never seen before. 2,400 first time was the first time I'd ever seen it in the Caulfield Cup.
And potentially a soft track for a Japanese horse. Is that a concern?
It is a massive concern. This is one of the few horses that have come out. So Lynn's Grill, the Cox Plate winner, had no issues with it getting a soft track. But this one, if it is a soft 5, I'm almost to the point where I'm place laying it at this stage.
Yep. Jonathan, Abe, Wish.
Sunday Silence mares, don't they go good on the web?
I think they just go good.
This thing's had 4 runs for 0 placings on a soft to even, I'm going to say soft track, based on what I went over the previews and everything, and it went awful on them. Like, the softer it went, the more awful it went.
Yeah, I think this horse is right in the race. It was carrying a bit of condition when it won the Caulfield Cup, I'm led to believe, so it's got improvement up its sleeve. The way the pattern of this race is, they will be spreading around the corner. It might just get up 3 off the fence, 4 up the fence, and then it's going to save ground. The 2s, you prefer it in 7 or 8, but I don't think this horse is in the race.
Yep. Horse number 3, Master of Reality for Frankie Dettori. And is it Joseph O'Brien?
Yeah, it's Joseph this time.
Off a 49-day fresh and Drew. What are we doing?
Ran 123 time form in the Ascot Gold Cup. That's 4,000 metre form. It beat Cross Counter on the day and also Raymond Tusk, but it hasn't broken 120 time form rating under 4,000 metres. It ran 5th in the Irish St Leger. Wasn't that great on the day. It's an on-speed horse. It'll get the 30 to 100 metres, but it's got no turn of foot. It's not a horse that I fancy.
From barrier 1, what do you anticipate? If you look on the puntingform.com.au data, position run looks like it's pretty prominently forward.
I have
it leading.
I have it leading with there's 3 potential leaders in it: Twilight Payment and Hunting Horn.
Yep, cool. Jonathan, Master of Reality.
Yeah, it's not an inside draw. It'll have to lead. Pressure be on them. It's not one that I'll be.
It's currently around the $20 mark.
Yeah.
And I'll just quickly note something for the punters at home. There was a horse that missed the flight out last year that was meant to come out and just be a stablemate for Latrobe, and this was it. So that's how little they thought of it last year.
Cool. Horse number 4, Mirage Dancer, Benny Gladrat Mellum. I think it's Busselton and Young. This horse ran 3rd in the Caulfield Cup.
Yeah, Caulfield Cup.
I thought it had a really nice run in the Caulfield Cup. Thought it was suited. It's drawn barrier 13 here. Need a little bit more luck, but it was drawn 9 there in the Caulfield Cup. Drew.
This horse is a non-winner. If you want to back it to finish top 6, top 10, you'll probably get your money. It's
Currently a $34 chance, most joints.
You probably get longer on the day. I'd say on Betfair, I'd be pretty confident of that. 3,200 metres of query. I thought the Caulfield Cup was its aim. 119 time form rating in the Hardwick Stakes in June. Look, realistically, it'd have to go at a new level to win this, and I'll take it on to win. But as I'm saying, I think if you want to include it in your multiples, it is that type of horse that'll run a good race if it handles the distance.
Abe?
with a clear run, this horse is well in the race and is big overs.
Value.
Yeah, Ben Malamon, which is a positive.
Thirsty. Ben a bit real thirsty.
Yeah, he
missed out on a big derby day.
What about he ran second on the Jukebox, the Japanese horse there 1 year too, but with lime colours. This horse probably gets an alright run in transit. $34 is value. Caulfield Cup run was solid. It did cop a couple of bumps coming around the corner. I like horses that cop a couple of bumps and keep on finding the line. There was one yesterday that copped a heap of bumps and just ran through the line, which was a fill up for a couple of us here to Fane.
To Fane.
Yeah.
To Fane.
To Fane, mate. Fucking to Fane, right?
To Fane, mate.
Righto.
Picture bro.
Yeah, straight him. But yeah, I reckon this is well in the race, and it's got to improve on its run in the Caulfield Cup. I think I'm with it. It will be winning me a lot.
Okay, horse number 5, punters. Southern France, M. Zara, Mar Eustace.
Yeah.
Drawn, barrier 14.
Mark Eustace played at Sydney.
I just said Eustace, didn't I?
Yeah, but he said Mark.
Dave Eustace.
Wasn't he the footballer at Sydney, Mark Eustace?
Mark Bays.
Might have been anyway.
Couldn't have been that good. Drew.
Why? Because he played for Sydney.
Now, should we just do the FYI at the start of the preview of this horse? Yeah, alcoholic, another affected cameraman, producer, mounting our male professional expert, punter extraordinaire, Pistol Pete Anthony has had a dream.
The man with the golden hands.
In this dream, Finch looms, looks the winner, and Matty Hill calls it the Cup's going to France. I believe that leads us to conclude that he's dreamt that Southern France will beat Finch in the Melbourne Cup this year, and unless Drew really steers me in another direction, I'm team Southern France. Drew, can it win?
This was my top international hope when they all came out here. Like, watching all the replays, watching all the horses, in downdraft were the two that I mainly backed when they were coming out here, because they came out a really strong St. Ledger trial run.
27's the fair, Drew, currently. 26 is the plastics.
If it does not start shorter than like Master of Reality, something's wrong. But that being said, Cross Counter last year started longer than, what was its name?
I can't remember what happened yesterday.
There were a few in the market that were no-hopers. Like
Smash the goats and worry about it tomorrow.
Like look, where's Yucatan this year is a prime example.
Well, got busted up.
What?
It started favourite, so they get it wrong every so often.
Yeah, it ran enormous Yucatan though prior to it. Just got busted up that injury. That's bad.
Fair enough.
Anyway, Southern France, Drew.
Yes. What it did that day when it beat Downdraft, consistent, really good type. I think the next start in the St. Ledger, it was just a bit flat. Ryan Moore jumped off, Heffernan went on. They had a better horse that they were trying to get to win that race. They did.
Looks like it's got a little bit of tactical speed.
They'll be on speed. They'll be sitting. So every single one of the either Aidan O'Brien, Joseph O'Brien, or their horses. So this is now with Mara Eustace, but it was with the O'Briens.
Mine Eustace, mate.
Yeah. They will be in the first half of the race. That's just where they're tactically going to sit in this distance. It's my value of the Cup.
Good, love it. Abe?
Not without hope. Zara on.
You are like a little bit Simo, actually. Fossil Junior.
That's all right. He's got a lot more intelligence than his son, Simo, hasn't he?
That's a big call. I spoke to him yesterday. He's up there writing the lists up at Early Beach, torturing my other brother.
Probably stand on his tippy toes.
He'll be watching the show, Simo, the big Foss.
Yeah, no, he's
enjoying
all right.
probably
Southern France
a non-goat beer.
Is probably it's not in the top lot of numbers, but if you were to say give it a rekindling push from the yard.
Well, FYI, spoken to already. Apparently, it's a pretty poor parader.
Yeah, so it could get extremely sweaty. It could look like it's a little bit lame based on the fact that they've vetted it.
But that's like Yucatan in the Caulfield Cup last year.
Yeah,
was it whatever race it was? Paraded awful to the textbook parade, and and went enormous.
Yeah, I think it's Herbert Power, whatever it was. Yeah, it was the one
Yeah,
before
well,
that.
I mean,
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
it's not one I've got. Like it's $27, Drew. Like it's not.
You get 34s on Betfair if you jump on now, I bet.
It won't be like it's not one the punters are going to back. I couldn't at those odds as a general.
This
rule.
punter's going to back it.
Yeah.
Pete's going to back it.
I've already on
Pistol, our fucking alcoholic cameraman. Horse number 6 punters is Hunting Horn for Heffernan and Aidan O'Brien. It ran 8 days ago at Moonee Valley. It won. It beat Downdraft. It was an outstanding parade. Drew was very soft on it, against it on the way to the races that day. I suspect he'll say the same thing here. It was an outstanding parade. It was a walkathon, but the form stood up out of it. Drew,
Yeah,
what can I do with this 5-year-old Camelot?
Well, it's not a 3,200 metre horse. It's a 2,000 metre horse. They went 2 lengths below standard on the punting form data to the 600 metres in that walkathon,
Which is very slow for the greater race.
Exactly, and it was just suited. It got run a race, in my opinion. It was suited by it perfectly. It's here to be a pace pusher.
Team riding.
It's here to pace push.
Yeah, I don't disagree with Drew. It had every possible conceivable hope in the Moonee Valley Cup. And God bless it, because it wasn't one that was laid with me. I remember Mr. Quickie was out the gate because I like laying horses in a lane the following start. And Humidor was going to struggle on the track pattern that day. So God bless it for Saturday week.
It's done what you needed. Now
Yeah.
you can get.
Yeah, 110%. That's
Horse
it.
number 7 punters Latrobe. J. Mac McDonald, Joseph O'Brien, comes out of the same race as all these others. Drew, it's currently a $26 chance. You spoke about it previously just before. It's 29 is a fair, betfair.com.au. Drew, what are we doing?
This horse is a non-winner. It's won one of its last 10. It had every chance last year in the McKinnon, and it couldn't get past Trap for Fools. Now,
Don't you wish every race was a Melbourne Cup race?
The Trap for Fools had a little bit more. The Trap for Fools had a little bit more training on its side.
of course,
I started
definitely.
calling it Livestrong.
Yeah. But so it did the same thing in the Curragh Cup. It lost by under half a length. It's just consistently just done that, where it's just not been able to kick in when it's been needed.
Barrier 22 is my concern.
Yeah.
with
Well,
the
I
horse.
was happy when it got that, because this is a horse I don't like. It's you know when there are horses you don't like and you just want to take on.
And there can completely take
I
it
can
on.
completely take it on. Now its best time form rating has it in the race. Competitive, but that was over 2,000 metres. So it's been beaten all this prep by quite a few. I would note it had a really good hit out at Werribee where it caught the eye of a few people, and it was on Betfair.
Look at him. Look at our little man here.
They
Little man,
they
you're a big
smashed it
man.
on Betfair straight into 20s from 34s.
You're a big man, but
Now-
you've been winning some yards here. A little bit of,
I got a few people who are down at Werribee, so I don't have to go down every bloody day.
come on now. That's the kind of operation we run here at Melbourne.
I tell you, going down to Werribee at 5:30 a.m. is low. It
Pete
is.
could have ended up there last night.
Better off going snapper fishing.
Horse number 8 punters, Mushtahir. Mushtahir?
Mustajir.
Mustajir. D. Oliver, the champion. I reckon the best of all time. Chris Lees, Australian bloodstock. Ran 6th in the Caulfield Cup behind Murder Glance. Drew, I find this horse hard to have.
Can win. So
I just don't understand how it's $18.
probably should be shorter. If, and here's the if, I would say on a slowly run race, it should be 50s. On a medium paced race, it should be what it is right now. And on a fast run race, it should be single figures. So it depends how you're mapping the race and how it's going to go. So if you think that these Hunting Horn and Master of Reality and everything are going to push the tempo out front, then you need to have this horse in your book. But if you think it's going to be medium or slowly run, you probably don't want to have it. So it depends how you've got the race map.
A little bit like you said before with the Latrobe. I wish this horse drew 24 and I could just get rid of it.
Yep.
But drawn 6 with the
100%.
champion on.
Well, it's going to get the right run.
It's going
That's
to
the
get run of
problem.
race, probably.
It won the Ebor in a really hotly contested fast run race. It proved itself. It can win, but it needs conditions to suit. I think you could in-play bet it at the same price if they're going hard the first 400 metres.
How would you in-play bet in a horse race, Drew? Where would you go to do that?
Betfair.com.au. Download the app on your iPhone or Android device as well.
Rostropovich punters his horse number 9.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry. Sorry, Ab.
Mustajir's got a good chance. $18 is alright. Like the Oliver sticks. Second, the platform's right. Caulfield Cup run into Melbourne Cup. They used to wrap the E-ball all the time when their horses come out that won the E-ball. Won the E-ball and win the Melbourne Cup. They don't always win it, but this horse has got the right platform. I would be riding it off at your peril.
I've written it off. Horse number 9, Rostropovich. D. Dunn, Hayes, Dabnik. It was awful in the Caulfield Cup, but it wasn't suited. I thought the ride was pretty poor. He sort of asked it to go, asked it to stop, asked it to go. It could improve, but I don't think it's good enough to win off that run.
It could improve, but I'm not sure it could improve enough to
Druzy, it is currently
do anything.
$100 on the fair.
And it is rightfully so $100. Group 1 placed over 2,400 metres back in Ireland, but it's failed to get within 3 lengths of a victory in all 5 starts out in Australia. It's done nothing. It'll do nothing. It's poorly weighted. Take it on.
Oh, bang.
Yeah, I put a line through it, but then if you go back to ran fairly in the Melbourne Cup last year, but no, not for mine this year. This prep doesn't
It
seem
was
to
well
cover.
weighted there. That's the only reason I could back it back then.
Horse 10, punters, Twilight Payment, which is what I thought I might be getting last night after just helping Jonathan make a really nice little day out of it yesterday, but
Did you buy my Tesla too?
proved unsinkable yet again. Ridden by Hugh Bowman for Joseph O'Brien. This horse is also coming out of that St. Ledger. Drew, what are we doing? Looks like it's got a little bit of technical speed.
I didn't win a cracker. My missus won a lot of money.
Well, Taryn, you're unstimpable.
That's exactly right. Trained well.
No, but you've actually been on the show before saying your missus is sniffable. You must have sniffable missus.
Yeah, but she's not going to give you a snip.
Twilight Payment. At its best, it can win. I mean, it won the Curragh Cup. Previous to that, it won at Leopardsfield. But its last start run was terrible. It beat home some really good horses in Latrobe, Southern France, Mustagia. It's beaten some horses at $20 in this field. So, if it's there to win, at the price, I have to play it. You know.
Yep.
You're just getting a stupid price to find out. If they go slowly out front, this horse is going to.
Did I mention the price?
No. Chuck it up.
$85 on the fair. Big odds.
I spoke this morning to Mo Toole and Pete Jones, and I think both of them.
Pete Jones, is he recovered from Geelong? Unlike our man here, Pistol Pete Anthony's.
I think he's in about the same boat as Pistol Pete.
When you race at weight for age level, you can pull up against all, can't you?
When you go,
Me and Scooty, we've been playing golf, we've been living life, kicking goals.
When you go from the Newmarket to Cox Plate, nothing in between.
Yeah, from some West is best race to the Cox Plate. See you later, mate.
Yeah. But
you're welcome to come on whenever you want and show them your state. If you want, Peter.
Look, I didn't have it, but if it's $85, once again, no one's going to back it. So yeah, give it strength.
Horse number 11 punters is Finch. Kay McAvoy. Did I miss one?
No. You know who Petey reminds me of today? Freddie Mercury. That outfit is just Freddie-esque.
He's really confident. He's really confident. Well, he's drinking a UDL, so fair enough. Horse number 11 punters, Finch. Kay McAvoy, Seawall. I quite like this horse. It ran enormous in the Caulfield Cup when not suited. It's currently $11 on the fair. I'd have to, I don't want to insult anyone with an overly confident opinion on this race because I don't have a clue read the internationals. That's why Drew's our man. But it SP favourite at the Caulfield Cup, wasn't suited, ran 5th or 6th. It goes M. Walker to Kieran McAvoy, who's a proven cup riding jet.
Did okay across counter last year.
It's drawn barrier 4, will get a good run, has good early speed to sort itself out from 4.
Yeah.
I think it's the most likely winner of this race.
Woo. You seem confident.
Just makes sense to me.
I am of the opinion
That's what one half goats will do to you. Just clarifies your opinions on things.
I have 10 horses in my very high and high chances area of my race, and Finch is in there. But at the price, I'm probably leaning against it. So I'm taking it on. I'm taking Murder Glace on, just based on their prices. They both can win. You can't take everything on.
I understand what you're saying. And you would too, But if he's taking on Finch and Murder Glass, he's getting rid of a large percentage of this race and lets him back 4 or 5 runners for a good result.
I'll tell you why. I think this is a 2,400 metre horse. I don't think it finished off well enough last year in the Melbourne Cup. It's run 4th. It's run huge. But Rostropovich also finished, 5th or 6th on that day. So it wasn't a race which I guess highlighted it. I was really disappointed in how Finch finished off in the Caulfield Cup. I understand it had not the great run, because I thought it was the winner at the 200. Sorry, the 300. I thought it was just going to bound away from them, and then it's just compounded.
Not suited cast.
Yeah.
Wide and working is my note. Like, it's a massive improvement here.
Is this horse a bit one-paced?
But
That's normally okay for a Melbourne
that
Cup.
pace is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I realise that. I can't have it at the price, is what I'm saying. I think it's a bit one-paced, and when we get to the next horse, Prince of Arran, are these two going to be somewhat chopping at each other as well? How close will Prince of Arran sit to Finch from the draw? Walker will be positive. These two
I don't know if
might
it'll be
put a bit
that
more
positive.
He was positive in Geelong Cup.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he had to be, because he's the best horse in the race.
I've
Oh,
got
no,
them.
and the track pattern.
I've got them next to each other in run.
Yeah, if these two are next to each other in run, and Walker's ridden Finch, and I just reckon they might. It's just not one of mine at the price.
All right, horse number 12, Prince of Arran. M. Walker, Charlie Fellows, backs up now from the Geelong Cup, where it won, and it won pretty well. It used to be a really strong form reference for this race, Drew. What do you think of it now?
I mean,
It's
it
currently
used to
a $24 chance on the fair.
used to be a strong form race. I mean, you had True Self and Hackey running 2nd and 3rd there, and is that the form you really want to be taking into a Melbourne Cup? I think Prince of Arran's a bit of a cat, similar to Latrobe. It wins on its day, but everything I've seen, its time form ratings, 118 Herbert Power. The Geelong Cup wasn't, it was slightly better, but it was run to suit. It needs the perfect run. It can potentially get it from barrier 8, but even then, I think it'll find one too good at least. It can run top 6, it can run top 3.
Okay.
I just can't see it winning.
Abe?
It hit the line. It hit the lead too early last year in the Cup. Like at one stage, it looked like it could win. I'm not writing it off, but it may be one that I laid. Like as I said, I'm out on the lawn, which is usually the, penny pinchers because I'm a greedy man, as you sort of know.
Unsnippable.
This is one of the horses that will back because people know.
I know it.
Yeah.
It'd be 5 each way, 10 each way, 25 each way. It's not without a hope, but it's not without a hope. I think. I'll just see where it lands, where the money lands with it.
Horse 13, punters Raymond Tusk, Jay Spencer, and R. Hannon. I believe Matt Cricket Trader's in this horse, so if you are, good luck to you, my man. But 71 days out of the Ebor, Drew, where it ran 4th. What are you doing?
It's a really tough horse to get a line on.
So, currently a $17 chance on the fair.
Yeah, it's a high sharp. It'll get the distance. Its best runs have been over 3,200 metres, I would say. It ran 2nd behind DBX at Ascot. It carried a really big weight in the Ebor. It's run consistently well. It was a decent 4th. It started $17 in an Ebor. Should it be $17 in a Melbourne Cup? Probably around that. If you like it, back it. Synthetic hoof filler on.
I don't think that matters as much with these Euros, does it?
The longer you run, the worse it is for your feet. But
Where do you have it settling? Did you already mention that?
no, I didn't. Sorry, let me just grab the map
Because
for you.
its first 3 runs, this preparation is settled in the first 4, and then the last 2 runs, it's settled.
I'm
towards
saying
the back.
midfield. I'm saying midfield the rails.
I'd say it'd be a pretty hard horse for you to map, yeah?
Extremely hard. Like, they could do whatever they want with it.
Yeah. Abe, anything?
Oh, it was a real unknown. I must have missed this. Is it? It has got synthetic hoof filler in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I won't. As soon as I got that, I like horses.
You hate that shit.
I like gear.
It means they got feet issues.
I know you
I
like
like gear. I like them with. I just like them with the blinking.
You just said.
I like gear. I like gear on the horses in terms of I like them with either no gear or blinkers only, and just let them go. So no, look at $18. It's got the hoof filler in. Not my go.
Especially coming out of Werribee, is what I would say.
Well, if it's past the Werribee vet check, it's probably.
That's sweet, but it means it's
Walsh
some issues.
if you and I went to Werribee, we'd never leave.
I wouldn't pass the Seaford vet check here. They'd put me down.
That's true.
Hamstrings back out,
Bum crack showing, you're not a plumber, mate. Put it away, please.
I wouldn't pass the mental health part of it.
Right, horse number 14, punters, downdraft. Johnny Allen, Joseph O'Brien, dominant winner yesterday in the, they call it the Hotham Stakes, but it's
Alexis.
It's Alexis.
Yeah, he's been a Saab quality before that as well.
Yeah, the good race that some like shocking one and came out and won the Melbourne Cup. It was not suited in the walkathon behind Hunting Horn. It's an outstanding parade of this thing. We backed it again yesterday. We didn't back it at Moonee Valley, but I really wanted to, and we really backed it yesterday. Test paid $6, I reckon, the fare yesterday, and they want us to take sort of 20s here.
I think it was $5.60. Yeah.
It's currently 20s the fare here. I find it hard to have. Drew.
If there is pace on in this race, this horse is a massive contender. It will only get better over distance. It'll handle the 3,200 metres, no issue. Soft track, dry track, it handles it. It's the ultimate performer. Barrier 15 is a massive negative. 53.5 kilos. It's within the right weight range where the last 3 winners have come from.
It's gonna be. I can't believe Johnny Allen can get down to that. He's a big man.
Yeah,
Like for a jockey.
I think you know that you got to get down to it this time. But yeah, it's mapped terribly to get cast is the issue. I'm on it at big odds. I'm on it at 50s. I would not be taking anything less than 20s even at this stage, though. It just maps terribly.
Had every chance the last 2 runs. Like he rode it a treat yesterday.
How good was his ride on that yesterday? Like that
If
ride.
you go watch it specifically, he didn't actually have to whip it out. Like he gave it a whip at the 300, and then just to get it to finish off the final 100 when he'd taken the gas
Yeah,
off.
but like on it, yesterday was a day of like outstanding rides.
10 out of
Like
10
D.
ride.
Oliver just
Outrode him.
just
in the
like
derby.
said, here I am, I'm the champ. But John Allen's ride on this horse was just like calm, class, like real good ride.
Yeah. But one
But this is a completely different setup.
different setup. Yeah, look, I just can't. It's not in my numbers at those odds.
Horse number 15, punters, Magic Wand. It led him along there in the Cox Plate. Ryan Moore sticks. Aidan O'Brien trains. It ran 4th, sitting on speed there in the Cox Plate to Liz Grisho. You good thing. God bless you, Pistol Pete. Drew, can it win the Melbourne Cup?
It's never seen 3,200 metres before.
It's currently a $27 chance on the fair.com.au.
Ryan Moore on board, so their leading stable jockey. Barrow 24 makes it a bit tough, but it'll be going forward from out there. I struggle to suggest it, but it is 6 times Group 1 placed.
So what you're unsure?
I'm extremely unsure.
Well,
there's a lot of unknowns.
At that price, does that mean you're chopping?
What price am I getting currently?
27s.
Okay, yeah, I would be dropping at 27s.
Barrier 24 is going to be unsuitable for this.
It's a leader.
It's going to have to work to
Yeah,
get
it's
across.
a great draw. It's a great draw for a leader.
Yeah, no.
It can half miss the start and just work across and lead.
If it half misses the start, it's going to have 23 horses to try and get
But it's
around.
going to lead anyway. I think drawn if a half miss the start from barrier 10,
They're going to have to lead.
They will lead.
They're
Won't
going to
they?
have to lead on
They
this.
won't lead, they'll go forward and they'll try and get a sit with this horse, I can guarantee that, because first time 3,200. And they've got other horses from the similar O'Brien stable, and, you know, that will be doing the leading. Trust me on that. They'll try and slot in behind them.
Abe.
Yeah, I'm not with it. Not from the draw.
Horse number 16, Nufbosk. L. Nolan replaces L. Curry for D. Hayes Dabanik. It ran 9th in the Geelong Cup, 9 of 11, after sitting on pace, which is sort of where you wanted to be. Comes out of the Metrop in Sydney, where it ran 11th, 13th, 14th.
Let me go first. Pen job.
Drawn 23. It's just completely and utterly unlikely.
300 to 1?
280 on the fair. Probably starts 600 on the fair.
Yeah.
Should be 1,000 to 1.
Yep.
Okay, we'll skip it through. We don't
I would
know.
just say it ran second in a Group 1 over in France, but it's done nothing since it's come out here.
Let's get through it.
Number 17, Sound, the German. Jaywinx, M. Maroney. It ran 10th in the Caulfield Cup behind Murder Glance. It was even, I thought. This is an interesting horse. It's just sort of there or thereabouts. It hasn't done anything for a very long time. Can we pen it, Drew? Drawn 10.
Reds.
Current odds are 170s on the fair. Pen for me.
Yeah, when it came out here last year, it had ran second the previous race behind Best Solution, beaten half a length. over 2,400 metres. It has done nothing since coming out here. I can't have it, but its best could somehow run a place. But
If you got out to 400s, I'd chop on it.
yeah, it's the type of one where you can just chuck $5.
Here we go. Come on, Aussie. Come on. Horse number 18, Surprise Baby. Jordan Childs, Paul Prushka out of Horsham. It's won the big lead up the Bart Cummings there 29 days ago, beating Supernova. Drew, what about the plastics here quickly? Knocking up $98 about this horse after that win. Reptilian behaviour. It's always going to start longer.
Yeah.
Currently a $16 chance on the fair. Can the Aussies, can the Victorian Bushmen, horsemen take it home from Horsham?
Yeah, well, Pete says West is best. I say International is
Best.
incredible. Yeah.
So
take on the Aussies. That being said,
draw on 20. I don't think the draw really matters. Horse got no tactical speed.
How many Bundy cans will Whitey drink if it wins?
Might just be Bundy cans.
It'll be Bundy. It'll be straight big bottle of Bundy. The OP Bundy goes straight in the top of the cup and he just buries his big beard and face in it.
Be a story and a half. It'd be a session.
It'd be fantastic if this horse won.
won the Adelaide Cup.
The Adelaide Cup run was enormous. Like this horse, you'd love to see it win, but it's a big ask from. It's going to get well back in the field. Can the internationals run home quicker than it? Maybe, I think so. Look, if it wins, it'll be I reckon it'd be great media if it wins. I sort of hope it wins, but not in the numbers.
Yep.
Anything else?
I'd say it's similar to Sign Off a couple of years back, where you can see it running top 4, but I struggle to see it beating every one of these.
Horse number 19, punters, Constantinople, draws barrier 7, which is key. Joe Muir replaces Luke Nolan, Hayes Dominic. It was enormous, probably the run of the race there in the Caulfield Cup outside of the winner. It's currently a $9 chance on the fair. I thought this thing was as likely just about as Finch. Big run. Can it win?
Yeah, I've got it probably, of the horses in the race, I've got it the shortest odds.
Yep.
So I think it is the rightful race favourite. Is there much value in the price? Not really, but I'm not losing on this horse at all. I'm going to have a winning result. Quite simply, you go back through its form lines, it's wanting the 3,200 metres. It has been trained for this. It's a 4-year-old. It's Galileo.
Do they sell their grouse horses though?
Do you know how much they paid for this?
No.
$3 million. You're selling any horse for $3 million.
Yeah, did you see the owners of it? Coolmore, Neil Werrett.
Yeah.
Like there's a
Few battlers.
Yeah, a few.
They didn't win 1,000 loss on Tats Lotto.
How good is that though? How bloody good is that? 12.90 into a grand. Like just sort of go.
One for the battlers.
Yeah, well, that pays me Tats Lotto for 12.90 times 52 weeks.
Yeah, but you'd be behind overall, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Of course, I'd be behind on Tats Lotto. Yeah, but if I win Powerball, I'd be completely unsnippable again.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, someone's
true.
Come on, guys, come down for a drink. Yeah, just beers and house wines.
Yeah, beers and a
House wine.
cooler bar cows.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Drew, I reckon this Constantinople can win. Moreira, I haven't seen enough. Like, he's touted as the world's best jockey.
From 7, it suits him. He's a little like he's a
sort of
rhythm
just
rider. Rhythm rider.
Yeah, he throws the hands out.
But if he's drawn 18, I'd say no. But drawn 7, he's just going to smoke the pipe.
I don't know much. I just don't know these.
I would have preferred Bossy on board.
Yeah, I would have preferred an Australian jockey on it. Yeah, it can definitely win. It's hard, but I'm going to have to keep it as a whole of some sort in your book because people should back this because it's got a bloody good chance.
I think this will go off. Horse number 20, Il Paradiso. Paradisio, whatever.
Yeah.
Paradiso.
Lorden, who I don't know, and Aidan O'Brien, that ran 5th in the St. Ledger. Drew, this is it's a 4-year-old. Is it actually a 3-year-old?
Yeah, 3-year-old.
Yeah.
This is the profile that's sort of been pretty potent recently. The young horse from
No
the
way.
O'Brien sort of joint.
Or they get weighted well. Remember we went to that luncheon with you, and Greg Carpenter got up and said the way the weight scale works, these Northern Hemisphere 3-year-olds are
tapped
12.
out well.
They've upped them 1
themselves.
kilo since, but it's still well weighted.
Yeah, but I can't have it on at the Doncaster. I watched the Doncaster run. Went to near the top, looked at every chance, and just folded it up and got eaten. Not for mine.
Yeah, I'd say you don't look at the Doncaster run. I'm just going to read from my notes here because I think it
Here we go,
spells it
Hannes.
out.
I can feel what's coming here. Can you?
No, yeah, he's got a hard.
This says there's a fair bit of lead entering the
A
pencil.
little bit. So
Couple of oysters and a blue tablet.
yeah, this horse is bred to stay the 3,200 metres. It's been around that distance the last 3 runs. It's an on-speed type. Time form rating 119, so it's where it needs to be with that weight. I'm just going to explain to you the 3. It won by 13 lengths, 3 ones back at the Curragh, and then it went to the Lonsdale Cup over 3,200 metres behind the world's best stayer in Stradivarius, and I'll tell you why Stradivarius is the best stayer. Its last 10 runs were in a Group 1 or Group 2, and it has won 9 of those, and it was beaten 0.02 lengths the other time by Kew Gardens, and that was last start. So this horse has consistently over the last 2 years been the best stayer in Europe.
In Europe, not the world's best.
I'm gonna-
the best stayer in Europe, Drew.
I'm going to say over that period, it's definitely been the best stayer in the world.
In you come in, spinner.
Yep, in the world, I'll say.
Righto.
Now, behind that, literally got nosed out by that much by DXB. DXB's last 6 runs have been third, second, first, over 3,200 metres to 4,000 metres in Group 1, Group 1, Group 1, Group 1, Group 3, Group 3. It's a consistent quality stayer.
When Drew gets real warm about a horse, he feels like he's like presenting like he's like a lawyer.
It's
just doing his
PowerPoint.
closing argument.
I was going to. Yeah, here's my baby.
Is it winning?
The only reason it's $17 and not $6 in this race is because of that Doncaster run.
So is it winning?
And-
Are we betting?
But one last point that I will justify. Wayne Lorden goes back on. In that Doncaster run, he wasn't riding. Blinkers on, first time.
Oh, he's so keen.
Guilty. Guilty, Your Honour.
Bet of the Melbourne Cup.
Hey! Here he is, Big Druzy.
Yeah, righto. I just said I'm happy
Fucking
to wait.
don't. Doesn't matter what you say. We're going to do what he says. I'm winning on it.
I pen Steel Prince anyway.
21 Steel Prince. Brett Preble replaces D. Oliver. It ran 7th in the Geelong Cup. Probably a barrier trial. Anthony Freeman, grand final trainer. Drew, can it win?
Couldn't lift its leg when it got scratched the run before Geelong Cup.
Probably because it's bleeding profusely.
Yeah. But that's why it ran poorly in the Geelong Cup, because it was still recovering. And I think it's still recovering.
But you
I'm
might
going
have
to take
to
it
edit this
on.
out. But Drew, if this horse was at Werribee, would it be scratching?
I would think so.
Interesting.
Interesting. Well,
Horse-
Drew's fine. He can't get.
He doesn't go on course anymore.
Yeah.
Don't
I'm
make
sweet.
it
I
do
got
it.
no horses. I got nothing.
Number 22, the chosen one, ran in the old Lexus yesterday. It's $120. Tim Clark gets on for Murray Baker.
120s, okay.
Can win, Drew.
I think it just had it was sat 1-1 at the 300 metre mark in that race.
Yesterday.
Yeah, and then it was
Don't
lost.
worry about it, mate. They're sneaky Kiwis.
Yeah.
It was
Hey,
legless.
bro, what you saying?
Yeah, like it pissed in that other race. Like, just
Herbert Power.
don't lose on this horse.
Yeah.
Don't win on it necessarily. Just
At 120s, you've got to have a couple of bucks
You're
at it.
betting
just
1,000
to-
in the race. Just get 120, 200 out of this
52
horse.
kilos.
I think it's a bit
You'll get
unlikely
the
in
distance.
yourself.
Yeah, it's $120.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it's unlikely. Yeah,
So, but do you want to lose on it at $120?
no one's going to back it with me. Hopefully.
Murray Baker. It's, sneaky behaviour.
Someone go have 100 with him on it.
Now we finish off
Yeah,
with two
please.
horses,
Well, the shop's open. We're here to bet through.
two
Exactly.
Australians punters. 23, horse number 23, Vow and Declare for Craig Williams and Danny O'Brien. Currently $13.50 on betfair.com.au. Drawn 21. I think it's going to start 20s because of the barrier draw, but I think the horse has endless ability, is airborne, will stay.
I should start first, right? If I got the Drew's Guide first and I crossed out the D and I put a J on the trainer name,
Launch!
and then he goes, Group 1 in France, Group 1 in Ireland. This horse is a fair dinkum chance, da da da.
52 kilos.
Yeah.
Just before you get into it, I wouldn't, and I'll tell you why. Because I launched into it at bloody $2 something at Sandown when it was freaking legless over 1,800 metres and got beaten by Main Stage. So I've never forgiven
That
it.
track was bugging that day because I backed Main Stage.
But that thing was $2 out to like $6 on the fair.
Yeah. No, But it's got the same platform as his Europeans, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It can win. 100%. Barrier 21 is what's kind of made it less likely. If it drew Barrier 6, it'd be in my top 4.
Well, Craig Williams, I sort of agree.
Willow's riding okay.
Wouldn't surprise, but it'll be going in for something for me.
Yeah.
Anything else, that horse? No, good. 24 young star punters.
This is your horse. You love this horse.
T-Berry. I'm going to talk about this horse. T-Berry, Seawall. Now, last year in the Melbourne Cup, this thing started $11. It has done absolutely nothing wrong this preparation.
Hasn't
I was
won.
very, very keen to back in the race yesterday.
Yep.
Won by downdraft, where it was a $9 chance, an $8 chance before scratchings. It would have started 5s. It would have started roughly the same SP as downdraft. I reckon it would have gone as good as downdraft.
What,
It wouldn't have won because it would have been ridden too cold, but it would have been a really nice run for this race. Downdraft SP 6s, you're now taking 20s. Youngstar, they want to give me $55 here at the fair. I think this horse can win. It's drawn barrier 9. It'll get a lovely run. Tommy Berry suits this style of rider, this style of racehorse. Youngstar will be winning a fair bit for me. Drew.
Top 4.
Didn't print it off, did you?
No, I just looked at it. Ash Rider went well yesterday, didn't it?
It SP'd $11 in the Melbourne Cup last year. It's got 52 kilos. What more do you want?
It can't win.
It hasn't won for a while. I'm kind of sending it in. If it wins, so be it. I can understand if it does
Can't
win.
win.
But
No, I won't win.
Okay, top 4 Drew in the Melbourne Cup. Then we'll waste everyone else's time. But
Il Paradiso, Southern France, Constantinople, and Cross Counter. Now, the 2 that didn't sneak in but were on the verge were Downdraft and Mustagia. But that's because I am not mapping a overly brutal tempo.
Jonathan, Abe Simpson.
Cross counter each way special.
Okay, I will go. Number 11, Finch. And from number 19, Constantinople. I'll then have number 24, Youngstar, and number 20, Il Paradiso. Trusting Drew.
Are we wanting anything from Pistol Pete? I think he's given us Southern
Oh
France.
shit! That's what I forgot. Yes, and Southern France.
I think cross counter will be back in each way. I think Mirage Dance is overs. Mustagia is overs. Constantinople is obviously a strong chance. And if this track is not too bad, Murder Glance hasn't been spoken about enough. So that's the Cup preview now. Touch wood. We've got a little bit conflicting this year. In previous years, we've all gone for the same horses and gone.
I didn't have much of an opinion.
Actually, no, Drew found cross counter last year. And
Found
he
Killing the year
and
before. Said just wins.
And I didn't get a chance to
Well, she was on it as
and
well.
absolutely fucking declared. And then he got in the car on the way home. You want a can of beer, Drew? Yeah, have beer. Oh, what are we going to do tonight? I'm going to the duck restaurant. So Phil, going down to get the duck. The duck pancakes. So hopefully,
would have got more than the duck.
hopefully it's the duck pancakes this year.
That was Corporate Cup last year.
Well, look. Anything else we should touch on?
Get
Good
out
to have Drew back on
out.
the show. If you enjoyed Drew's commentary, guys, get in touch on Twitter and put a bit more pressure on the bloke to come on more.
Get
often.
out the track.
We try, but it's just
Get out the track on Tuesday. Have a look.
Yeah.
If you have not watched the Melbourne Cup in the flesh, it's a bucket list event. You need to be out there.
100%.
You know.
Can I just put it out there as well? Have your Betfair account ready to go. Have cash on course ready to go just in case the Wi-Fi screws up.
Well, not in case of Wi-Fi, because a lot of times you will get overs a bit fair.
Well, that as well. But I more mean like you're sitting there with 5 minutes before the race and your phone's not loaded.
Oh, the phones won't work out there. But
But what do they need? What do they need more than all of that stuff, Drew?
Mounting Yard Mail.
And the mailbag app.
Well, they need the movers as well. I mean, 2 from 2 on Saturday.
Mover's been fat, and it absolutely declared the vinegar horse on Friday.
The gear.
Vinegar with more chips, but get out there, bucket list events in Melbourne. I reckon Victoria, the top 3 for mine are the Melbourne Cup, AFL Grand Final,
Derby Day's the best, I reckon.
and the Stall Gift. Actually, what's the running of the Stall Gift? They're the 3 bucket list events as a sports person that I think you need to be there once to see.
Well, I think Anzac Day game.
Over Grand Final.
Yeah.
You're demented.
Respect your culture. Learn about your history.
Oh no, I'm up for that.
Pay your respects.
I just
It's a
said top-
corporate event where there's like
So the
30,000 from each
Top
club.
3, yeah, Melbourne Cup Grand Final. The stall gift's not that corporate. I would say that every year it's amazing to watch how silent 30,000 people can be in absolute silence when they pull the trigger for 12 seconds. Anyway,
Been a
that's
pleasure
it.
having you two back. Hopefully there's more of it going forward. But just
Now, hold on, get on the fair, and we will say something. Geez, punting form's been bloody handy for me.
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks.
you're like the test tube baby of you're a fossil integrating into the future, and it's making a huge difference to the way you operate.
Well, it's gone
You
from
are mentioning
it's
horses
gone
to
from
me that I've already half found and kept under my sleeve because you're seeing patterns.
well, I found they're just reinforcing my replays, which without it's just put percentage on percentage basically the right
I've
way.
got no doubt at all that putting form is the key
Yeah,
difference to me getting to the level.
Why don't we
of-
just yell out to Shane? Like I wouldn't mind they got that nice blue logo, just on a grey hoodie or something. You should get us a couple of hoodies, I reckon, shouldn't you, Shane?
Putting form, yeah.
Punting foot hoodie.
I think Shane's done enough for us. For
Oh
me.
no, I don't mind it, but like the Betfair hoodies are the grouse, so you can follow up with the punting form.
We should get like,
We should do a
get
mailbag.
a mailbag with a goat
Goat
logo.
on the shoulder,
Yeah,
punting
sure,
form,
yeah.
fair. J Walsh Equipment. Sorry, Jonathan Walsh Equipment Finance. J Walsh Bookmaking. We'll get a few printed up. Actually. Cross Counter wins the cup. I'll have enough to go and print the own.
Yeah, might not just be
No,
house,
oh,
might not be
oh,
house wines.
oh,
Might be able to get the grouse.
And then I sell them for $99 each with a 50% markup or something.
Anyway, that's us, punters. Hope
Alright.
you enjoyed the show. Remember, Pete and I on track for you, Melbourne Cup Day. 2 sets of eyes on the ponies. You'll get everything you need to know if you want to make your own decisions. And if you don't want to make your own decisions, I will tell you exactly how to bet.